Every year, thousands of people dream of it. They see the images and are captivated. They imagine standing at the foot of the world's highest mountain, Chomolungma. The idea takes root in their minds, a powerful pull toward the heart of the Himalayas. This is the dream of Everest Base Camp. It is a vision filled with immense peaks scraping the sky, prayer flags fluttering like captured souls in the thin, biting wind. A personal journey towards something epic. The trail is iconic, a path walked by legends and ordinary people seeking the extraordinary. It represents more than just a hike. It is a pilgrimage to the throne room of the mountain gods, a place where the scale of nature makes human ambition seem both small and incredibly profound. This dream is powerful, but the mountain is more so. Everest does not care about your bucket list or your Instagram feed. It is a place of raw, unforgiving beauty. The path to its base is a serious undertaking, demanding respect and humility. The air thins with every upward step. The cold seeps into your bones. The physical exertion accumulates day after day. It is a landscape that tests your limits in ways you might not anticipate. The journey is not just a walk through stunning scenery. It is a constant negotiation with your own body and the severe environment. The mountain watches, indifferent to your struggles. And it is this indifference that makes the achievement so meaningful. The call of the Khumbu region is undeniable. It is a siren song for adventurers, a challenge whispered on the wind to those who feel the pull of high places. Trekkers come from all corners of the globe, each carrying their own hopes and reasons for being there. They walk in a single file line, a human chain moving slowly through a vast, silent wilderness of rock and ice. You can hear the rhythmic crunch of boots on the gravel path. You can see the visible puff of breath in the frigid air. The faces of the surrounding peaks, Amadablam, Lhotse, Nuptse, are like ancient weathered guardians, their sheer rock and ice faces carved by millennia of wind and weather. To pursue this dream is to accept a great challenge. It is to understand that the path to fulfillment is often paved with difficulty. The beauty of the trek is inseparable from its hardship. The vibrant culture of the Sherpa people, the spiritual tranquility of the monasteries, the camaraderie forged with fellow travelers. But woven into this same fabric are the realities of exhaustion, the potential for sickness, and the mental fortitude required to keep going when every part of you wants to stop. This is the duality of the Everest Base Camp trek. It is both an inspiring adventure and a grueling test of will. The journey to Everest Base Camp is not simply a trek from one point to another. It is fundamentally a journey into altitude. The thin air is the single greatest challenge you will face, a constant and invisible adversary. At 5,364 meters, 17,598 feet, Base Camp sits at an elevation where the oxygen level is roughly half of what it is at sea level. Your body is not designed to function in such an environment, and it will protest. Every breath requires more effort, every step feels heavier, and your physical performance is dramatically reduced. This is not a climb in the technical sense, with ropes and harnesses, but it is an ascent into a world your biology is not prepared for. Because of this, the trek is a masterclass in endurance. It is a slow, grinding battle against fatigue that builds over the course of nearly 2 weeks. You do not conquer the mountain, you learn to endure its presence. Walk, eat, sleep, repeat. But within that simplicity lies a profound test of your physical and mental stamina. The long days on the trail, the cold nights in simple tea houses, and the persistent lack of oxygen combine to wear you down. This is not about speed. It is about persistence. The people who succeed are not necessarily the strongest or the fittest, but those who can endure the steady accumulation of discomfort. Preparation is therefore not just a suggestion. It is a requirement for both safety and success. Showing up unprepared is a gamble, and the mountain holds all the cards. If you are not ready for what the altitude and the long days demand, the mountain will remind you of your oversight without mercy. The headaches, the nausea, the overwhelming tiredness. These are the mountain's gentle warnings. Ignoring them can lead to serious consequences. This is why the trek is meticulously planned with acclimatization days, forcing you to slow down and allow your body a fighting chance to adapt to the hostile environment you are entering. Ultimately, Everest Base Camp is a journey that asks much of you. It demands physical conditioning, but it demands mental resilience even more. It asks for patience when all you want to do is push forward. It asks for humility in the face of nature's overwhelming power. This trek is an honest judge of character. It strips away the non-essential and leaves you with the core of your own strength and vulnerability. Before you take your first step on the trail from Lukla, you must understand that you are not just going for a walk. You are embarking on a serious expedition that will challenge your endurance and redefine your understanding of what you are capable of. Table of Contents, Part 2. What is Everest Base Camp? About 4 sections. 1. A dot on the map. The gateway to the roof of the world. The long walk in, trekking versus climbing. A crucial distinction. Everest Base Camp is a specific place on the map. Kathmandu to Khumbu, route from Lukla to Everest Base Camp. It is located in the Khumbu region of northeastern Nepal, nestled deep within the towering embrace of the Himalayas. To find it, you first look for Nepal, a country sandwiched between the giants of India, China. From its capital, Kathmandu, you must travel eastward into the mountains, leaving roads and cities far behind. The camp itself sits on the Khumbu Glacier, a massive, slow-moving river of ice. This is not a permanent settlement with buildings and streets. It is a temporary seasonal camp that exists primarily to support climbers attempting to summit Mount Everest and other nearby peaks. It is a place defined by its purpose. The elevation of Everest Base Camp is staggering. It sits at 5,364 meters, or 17,598 feet, above sea level. To put that into perspective, higher than any mountain in the contiguous United States or Western Europe. At this altitude, the air is dangerously thin, containing only about 50% of the oxygen available at sea level. This single fact dictates every aspect of the journey. It makes the trek challenging. It necessitates a slow pace. It poses the most significant risk to your health. The camp's location is not just a geographical coordinate. It is a mark in a vertical world where human life is not meant to be sustained for long. The journey to this dot on the map is a world-renowned trek. It is considered one of the most iconic walking trails on Earth for good reason. It leads you through the Sagarmatha National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It offers unparalleled views of some of the planet's highest and most beautiful mountains. You walk through remote Sherpa villages. You spin ancient prayer wheels. You cross high suspension bridges draped over roaring glacial rivers. The trail is more than just a path. It is a cultural and spiritual corridor into the Sherpa homeland and the realm of the world's tallest peaks. This place is a destination for thousands of trekkers each year. But it is a workplace for others, for the Sherpa guides, for the porters, for the expedition staff. For mountaineers aiming for the summit of Everest, it is a critical staging ground. The camp is a bustling, transient city of brightly colored tents where different worlds collide. Trekkers arriving to fulfill a lifelong dream. Elite climbers preparing for the ultimate test of human endurance. This unique intersection of ambition, culture, and extreme nature is what makes Everest Base Camp one of the most fascinating and sought-after destinations in the adventure travel world. Everest Base Camp serves a very specific and critical function. Everest Base Camp serves a very specific and critical function. It is the southern base camp for all expeditions attempting to climb Mount Everest from the Nepal side. For mountaineers, this is not the finish line. It is the starting point of the real ascent. It is a logistics hub, a place to acclimatize, and a temporary home for the 2 months it can take to attempt the summit. The camp is set up each spring climbing season, from March to May, and then dismantled before the monsoon arrives. It is a city built on ice, complete with its own helipads, communication tents, and even makeshift bakeries, all dedicated to supporting the climbers above. When you, as a trekker, arrive at base camp, you are stepping into this world. You are a visitor in a high-stakes environment. The atmosphere is charged with anticipation and focus. You will see teams of climbers practicing techniques on the lower sections of the Khumbu icefall, a treacherous and ever-moving glacier that marks the first major obstacle on the way to the summit. You will hear the near-constant rumble of avalanches from the surrounding peaks, a stark reminder of the power and danger of this place. Your journey ends where their most perilous chapter begins, giving you a profound appreciation for what it takes to climb to the roof of the world. Most trekkers fly from Kathmandu to Lukla. From the moment you step off the plane in Lukla, your own 2 feet are your only mode of transport. A well-trodden trail stretches out before you. This will be your home for the next couple of weeks. The standard trek takes 12 to 14 days. Not designed for speed, for safe acclimatization. The route covers approximately 130 kilometers, 80 miles round trip. Itinerary includes gradual daily ascents and at least 2 rest days. Rest day, Namche Bazaar. Rest day, Dingbosh. Rest days involve short hikes to higher altitude, then back down to sleep. This is climb high, sleep low. This pacing is non-negotiable for your safety. The path moves through changing landscapes. Lush lower valleys, forests of pine, rhododendron, small agricultural villages. Higher up the scenery becomes stark and alpine. Trees give way to scrubby bushes, then rock, snow, ice. The trail mixes dirt paths, stone staircases, rocky moraine. You will cross suspension bridges, swaying above glacial rivers, railings full of prayer flags. The trek is a steady upward climb. Daily elevation gains you feel in your lungs and legs. Walk 5 to 7 hours most days. At altitude, it's demanding. The pace is slow. The Sherpa shuffle. Rushing is the enemy. Conserve energy and adapt to thinning air. Walk from village to village. Stop nights in tea houses. This gives the trek its rhythm, one step at a time, day after day. Section 4. Trekking versus climbing. A crucial distinction. It is vital to understand the difference between trekking to Everest Base Camp and climbing Mount Everest. These are 2 completely different activities, requiring vastly different skills, equipment, and levels of risk. The trek to base camp is a non-technical hike. You do not need any mountaineering skills such as using ropes, crampons, or ice axes. You are walking on a trail. The trail is challenging, often steep, rocky, and at high altitude, but fundamentally, a walk. Thousands of reasonably fit people complete this trek successfully every year. It is an attainable goal for dedicated adventure travelers. Climbing Mount Everest, on the other hand, is an extreme and highly technical undertaking. It is one of the most dangerous and expensive pursuits in the world. Climbers go beyond base camp, navigating the treacherous Khumbu icefall, steep ice walls, and deep crevasses. They face extreme weather, with temperatures dropping below -40 degrees Celsius and winds strong enough to knock a person off their feet. They rely on specialized equipment, fixed ropes, and bottled oxygen to survive in the death zone above 8,000 meters. Climbing Everest is reserved for elite, experienced mountaineers who have undergone extensive training and preparation. The equipment and costs associated with each activity reflect this difference. For the base camp trek, you need high-quality hiking gear. The total cost of a guided trek is typically a few $1,000s. For an Everest summit attempt, the cost can be anywhere from $30,000 to over $100,000. Therefore, when you tell someone you are going to Everest Base Camp, be clear about what that means. You are not climbing the mountain. You are undertaking a serious high-altitude trek to the foot of the mountain. This is an incredible achievement in its own right and should not be understated. It offers a window into the world of mountaineering without requiring you to take the same extreme risks. Reaching base camp is a worthy and formidable goal that pushes your physical and mental limits. It is a journey that earns you a deep respect for the mountain and for those who dare to go higher. Section 1. A test of endurance, not speed. The difficulty of the Everest Base Camp trek is often misunderstood. Many people assume it requires the fitness of an elite athlete, but that is not the case. This journey is not a race. It is a profound test of endurance, not of speed or raw power. The trek is long, spanning nearly 2 weeks. The primary challenge is not a single difficult day. It's the cumulative effect of many consecutive days of hiking at high altitude. Your body is under constant stress from the lack of oxygen, the cold, the physical exertion. The people who successfully reach base camp are not always the fastest or strongest. They're the ones who can keep putting one foot in front of the other day after day. The key to success is pacing. The mantra on the trail is bistarai, bistarai. Slowly, slowly. This is the single most important piece of advice you'll get. The urge to push ahead quickly, especially early on, is a common mistake. Your body needs time to acclimatize to the thinning air. Rushing is a direct invitation to altitude sickness. A typical day on the Everest Base Camp trail starts early. You will likely wake up around 6 a.m., greeted by the biting cold of your teahouse room. The first task is to wriggle out of your warm sleeping bag and quickly put on your layers of hiking clothes. Breakfast is usually served around 7 a.m. in the communal dining hall, often the only heated room in the teahouse, where trekkers huddle around the stove, nursing cups of hot tea. After breakfast, around 8 a.m., your group will set out on the trail. The day's hike typically lasts between 5 and 8 hours, including breaks. The morning hours are often spent ascending, gaining the day's main elevation. Your guide will set a sustainable pace at the front of the group, ensuring no one is pushing too hard. Around midday, you will stop for a long lunch break, usually at a tea house in a small village along the route. You will continue your slow and steady pace until you reach your destination for the night, typically arriving between 3 and 4 p.m. This common room becomes the social hub, where you can read, play cards, write in a journal, or share stories with fellow trekkers from around the world. Wake, eat, walk, eat, rest, sleep. This simple, repetitive routine becomes the rhythm of your life on the trail, a grind that is both mentally and physically demanding. The trail to Everest Base Camp is not a smooth, paved sidewalk. The terrain is varied, uneven, and constantly changing. In the lower elevations, you walk on well-defined dirt paths, interspersed with long, steep climbs and steep descents made of rough-hewn stone steps. Good trekking poles are essential for stability. One iconic feature: high suspension bridges. They span deep gorges carved by glacial rivers. After La Bouche, you reach the lateral moraine of the Khumbu Glacier. This is where the terrain is most challenging. Footing is unstable. Tricky terrain plus extreme altitude makes the final push arduous. Every step requires concentration. This relentless, varied terrain is a major reason the trek is hard. It's a full-body workout on a natural, unpredictable obstacle course that demands your respect and attention for its entire length. While the physical challenges of the Everest Base Camp trek are significant, the mental battle is often the harder part of the journey. The initial excitement of the first few days can fade, replaced by the monotonous reality of the daily grind. Waking up in the cold, forcing yourself to eat when you have no appetite, pushing your tired body up another hill requires deep reserves of motivation. Patience is perhaps the most critical mental skill you will need. Flights to and from Lukla are frequently canceled due to poor visibility. Accepting this lack of control and maintaining a calm, flexible attitude is crucial. It is vital to be honest with yourself and your guide about how you are feeling. The mental strength required here is not about being tough and ignoring symptoms. It is about being smart and humble enough to listen to your body's warnings. The decision to slow down, rest, or even turn back is a sign of strength, not weakness. It is a mental marathon that, if you complete it, will leave you with a profound sense of accomplishment. Altitude sickness, or acute mountain sickness, is the single most significant risk on the Everest Base Camp trek. It is the invisible wall that can stop even the fittest trekker in their tracks. AMS is your body's negative reaction to ascending to a high elevation too quickly without giving it enough time to adjust to the lower oxygen levels in the air. With each breath, you take in fewer oxygen molecules. The condition is indiscriminate. It can affect anyone, regardless of their age, fitness level, or previous high-altitude experience. This unpredictability is what makes AMS so dangerous. The earliest and most common symptom of acute mountain sickness is a headache. The key is when the headache is accompanied by one or more other symptoms: nausea or vomiting, a persistent lack of appetite, fatigue or weakness, dizziness or lightheadedness, and difficulty sleeping. It is absolutely critical to be honest about how you are feeling. A silent pressure to appear strong is an incredibly dangerous mindset. HACE is the swelling of the brain, and its symptoms include severe headache, confusion, loss of coordination, and eventually coma. HAPE is the leakage of fluid into the lungs, leading to extreme shortness of breath even at rest, a persistent wet cough, and a gurgling sound in the chest. Both HACE and HAPE are medical emergencies that can be fatal within hours. The most effective strategy is the principle: climb high, sleep low. Hydration is key. Walk at a slow, deliberate pace. Avoid alcohol and sleeping pills. A medication called acetazolamide, commonly known by the brand name Diamox. You must consult your personal doctor before your trip. It is not, however, a magic bullet or a substitute for proper acclimatization. If your symptoms are moderate to severe, there is only one effective treatment. You must descend. Descending is not failure. It is a successful decision to stay safe. Packing for Everest Base Camp is a science, and the foundational principle is the layering system. First, the base layer. Next, the mid layer, your insulation. Finally, the outer layer, the shell. At the top of this list are your hiking boots. They must be thoroughly broken in. Another critical item is a high-quality down jacket. A warm sleeping bag is a must. Trekking poles are another essential. A headlamp is also a necessity. You must have a reliable method for water purification. Don't overpack, heavy extras, multiple jeans, fashion items. The Everest Base Camp trek is a teahouse trek. Teahouse accommodation is simple but functional. The rooms are not heated. The heart of every teahouse is the communal dining hall. The most famous dish is dalbat. Many comforts come at an extra cost. Charging your electronic devices. Access to Wi-Fi, a hot shower. It is highly recommended to hire a local guide and a porter. You generally have two options: joining a group trek or organizing a private trek. There are different levels of service, from budget to luxury. Budgeting for the Everest Base Camp trek requires understanding several different cost components. A typical trek costs can range from about $1,200 to over $5,000. Two compulsory costs are the permits. You will still need a significant amount of cash. Tipping is a crucial and expected part of trekking culture. The physical journey is demanding, but the mental journey is often the greater challenge. Patience is the most valuable currency. Listening to your body is a mental discipline. The decision to turn back is a sign of strength, not weakness. After all the warnings, the ultimate question remains: is it worth it? For the vast majority, the answer is an overwhelming and unequivocal yes. The reward is not just the single moment of arrival. It is woven into the entire fabric of the journey. You are in the shadow of the world's highest mountain. This moment is a testament to your own resilience and determination. Everest doesn't reward the strongest. It rewards the prepared. If you respect the mountain, pace yourself, and prepare properly, this trek can change you forever. If Everest Base Camp is on your bucket list, subscribe for more real hiking advice, global climbs, and honest trail guides.